Hello and welcome for episode 2 of this Shadowdark Quickstart set guide. I gave you the overview last time. Basically, you can go there and kind of get a high-level overview of the actual product itself. I do recommend it. In this particular video, we're just going to take a little bit of time to talk about the character cards. Now, there are 8 character cards. You get a nice broad swath of things to play. You get a dwarf priest, a goblin wizard, human thief, elf fighter, halfling thief, half orc priest, a human wizard, and a dwarf fighter. So that all said, these are great for starters, like beginners in Shadowdark. It has everything you really need to reference during play on each of the cards. So it gives you what the attacks are, damage, what you're carrying, all kinds of good stuff like that. And it's pretty phenomenal. Now, there was a couple of things. I would like to point out that it is nice thick card stock, which I appreciate. It also makes me kind of not want to use them. But if you buy the physical product, you'll get a PDF, or you can just get the PDF for free, so you can just print these out, and that makes it easier. Not a big deal. I'm gonna zoom in just a smidge. There we go. Now, there was a couple of things that I did notice during my overview of these things. The stats do appear to be rolled, but if they were rolled, the dice were pretty well on fire, I think, for the individual. There's enough variation that I'm not super convinced. Well, maybe. Nope, I'm not super convinced that there was like a, what would you call it? An array that was used. I think that they were probably rolled stats, or at least given some randomization enough to make it feel rolled, which I appreciate. I'm not a huge fan of a standard array type situation. It's more fair, I suppose, for the players, but I'm not a huge fan of it. I like to hurt my players. The other thing I noticed is that for the fighters and the priests, they have upgraded equipment. So when you create by the book characters, they will be significantly weaker than these entry-level characters. And it is based almost entirely on the gold, or the starting gold that you get. The starting gold for creating a new character, let's go ahead and see if it has. First level characters get 2d6 times 5 gold pieces to buy gear, right? Which is fine. That's great. That's a good amount of That's a good amount of money. But you'll notice here that Jorben, the dwarf fighter, has chainmail. So 2d6 times 5, the best you're going to get is 30 gold, right? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30 gold pieces. Now, Jorben has a great axe and chainmail. So the great axe is 10, so that should take the majority of his gold, like a third of his gold. Chainmail is 60. So when you're playing this starter set, the pre-made characters are going to be a little bit more hardy than than somebody that creates one later. So if you get this, just keep that in mind. It's not a bad or a good, it's just what it is, not a big deal. And that is for fighters and priests. So I think that's basically it for this kind of overview. You can see that these are very thick. They will stand up to the test of time. I would probably print them out if you're going to give them to players, just because you'll probably have them writing on it and scratching things off. I think that that's very likely. But I think I've rambled enough on that. So yeah, I'll talk to you next time, and we will discuss the player's quick start guide itself, and I'll show you my thoughts on that. So we'll see you next time. If you found this helpful, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, comment. Comments are most important, I think. And you can find me on Facebook, Rumble, YouTube, and on Twitch. So I'd love to hang out with you. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time.